Hello, middle school students. Welcome back and Happy New Year. Today, we are going to work with our watercolor set and a piece of white paper. I don't mind if you use it in your sketchbook, but I took this one out just so it's easier to see and show you what I'm doing here. Adjust my camera just slightly so you can see more of what we're doing. Also, please don't go around me. I don't have the most space to work with here, so I'm going to try and switch these out. So first, you want to get your watercolors wet. So you just want to take your paintbrush and kind of put a drop or two into every color that you want to use. Now, we are making a sky for behind our St. Basil's Cathedral drawing. So your paper will need to go either horizontally or vertically based on the way you drew St. Basil's Cathedral. If you drew it vertically, then you need to make your sky in a vertical format. If you drew it horizontally, then you need to make your sky in a horizontal format. And I'll show you why it's important to make sure that that's right. A, for the gluing your cathedral on top of, which we will do probably at school, but also so that your sky looks like it's going in the right direction. Because when you paint a sky, you want to move left to right across your paper. So if you drew it horizontally, you need to paint left to right on a horizontal surface, versus if you did it this way and then tried to put a wider horizontal drawing on top of this, you're going to end up cutting it off. So we don't want to do that. First things first, I want to teach you a little bit about your watercolors that you have. You have a lid, much like my lid, although this one's a little different. I don't have a set of school watercolors at home right now, but you can make your own colors. I'm just going to clean this one up so that I can show you how to do that. So I just added a little bit of water in there and wipe it right clean, okay? Just a little paper towel, that's all it takes. These are all dry, so I don't have to worry about those. So now I'm going to take some clean water and just kind of dab it in there so I can get a nice puddle going. Now I'm going to mix my own purple. I love doing this because it gives me a different kind of purple than what's already in the watercolor choices. So it's simply red and blue. Now I have a different kind of red than you guys do, but you can get the same effect. If you have a different set of watercolors at home that you would like to use that. So I'm going to kind of make a night sky to go with my St. Basil's Cathedral. So I want purples and like a blue-green color. So I'm going to clean this guy out. Not even sure what's in there right now. Looks like some sparkly color from a different set of watercolors I have. Just trying to get it wet enough to get it cleaned up. Again, go in with my paper towel and just wipe it out. Nice. Oh, let's try and get some clean water here. Sorry. The paintbrush must have picked up some of that green. So now I'm going to make a blue-green color. So I'm going to start with kind of this odd green color. I feel like it gives me the best chance at making a blue-green. And then I'm going to go with this blue. So my sky is going to be kind of a blue, green, and purple color. You can make your sky whatever you want. If you want it to be more of a warm color, morning sky, that's totally fine with me. So now that I have two really big puddles going, which is what watercolor is supposed to be like, I'm going to take my paper. Mine is vertical. The one that's almost finished at school is vertical. So I'm going to take my big fat brush. I know you guys are working with much smaller brushes, so actually I'll show you how to use that. So you want to get your brush wet, if it's not already. And then I'm going to put my purple on first, and kind of need to keep mixing it because it does separate a little bit. Get enough color on there, and then just apply it to your paper. If you're feeling like you want it more blended, take a wet brush, go across the whole page or the area that you want to add your color to, and then just drop your color in. And you can watch it slowly spread out. So you can see that slowly spreading across my page. And that was just water. This is called wet on wet, meaning my paper is wet, my brush is wet, and obviously the watercolors are wet. And I will show you just for the difference. If you take your paintbrush and dry it off, go into your color, and then paint on, you get much thinner, more perfect lines, I would call them. So what I want to do while the top is still wet, with a clean brush, I'm going in with my blue green, I guess. And I got some chunks of old color in there. Just kind of wipe those off. I can just kind of drop this in. Oops. Spread it across my page and kind of get that linear cloud look going. Okay, and now since I've added these lines to the bottom of the page, I need to find a way to get rid of those. So I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to take a little bit of a darker blue and add it into my blue-green to kind of push this color. I'm not remixing, I'm using what I already had, so I need to make sure I'm done with it at the top before I move on. And since I am done with the top, I'm just going to kind of put this on here. Now this is a dry paper, and you see how quickly the paint absorbs into the dry paper. Whoops, I got some yellow in there. That's what happens when you don't have a clean palette. The colors get mixed together. And I'm just going to kind of push this in. And I'm going to bring it all the way down to the bottom of my paper. And this is where, if you want, you can add in another color. So let's say I do want to add in a little bit of yellow. Just going to get this guy wet. Since it's wet on my brush, might as well use this brush. Whoops. And spread it across my page. If that's not enough yellow for you, you can let it dry and add another layer over top of it. That's where this really becomes your painting, is by how many layers you do, letting things dry in between layers, and then you can go back and add more interesting details, or you can see how this kind of starts to look like a cloud. Maybe you draw around it. Maybe, you know, your St. Basil's Cathedral is not clear down at the bottom of your page, but maybe it's up here and it kind of hangs off the top, or use a bigger piece of paper than just your sketchbook size, so that you can really get more of a background going on. It is completely up to you how you do it. I'm even going to sprinkle on some glitter. I'm feeling very glittery this year. I'm just going to, and this is like super fine, crazy dust stuff. Just going to sprinkle it on. Kind of tap my paper and see if I could move some of it. I don't even have to open it. It just shakes out of the sides. It's terrible. It gets everywhere. Ah! Yeah, it's going to be covered in glitter for a while. Anyway, if it's too much in one spot, you can kind of use your finger once it's dry and move it around. But I will have to seal this in with something because I just put it on wet paper, essentially. It's not going to stick on its own. I promise it doesn't look as bad as the camera is showing. It's just more of a very shiny spot there. The camera's kind of making it look like a black spot, but it's not. I was looking for more of a light dusting. Not so much, but accidents happen. Anyway, it's not stuck yet, so I don't have to worry about it just yet. But what I'll do is take either glue and water and kind of paint over it to kind of get the glitter to seal in, or I can take a Mod Podge, or I could have even put glue on top first and then put my glitter on. You don't have to use glitter if you don't have it. It was just simply an idea that kind of popped into my head when I was looking for supplies. So create a background that you're happy with. You could do several and then cut out your St. Basil's Cathedral and you're going to glue them onto this. I don't have my example St. Basil's with me, so it's at school, and when we get back I will show you a completed version of this. But for now, get those backgrounds going, have fun with it, try different techniques. I'm going to be showing you throughout the week a few different watercolor techniques so that you can begin trying to experiment with watercolors on your own and show me what you're learning. I hope you guys had fun, and again, Happy New Year. I'm so glad you're back. I can't wait to see you.